Aloha. I'm Congressman Ed Case, proudly representing Hawaii's 1st Congressional District on Capitol Hill and proudly representing Native Hawaiians everywhere in our country and our world. I'm especially honored again to be able to greet you and provide some welcoming comments to your annual convention this year for the first time on the continent. You know, usually when I talk to you, I summarize what we're up to in Congress, the progress that we have made in maintaining and even strengthening a whole range of federal laws that have supported Native Hawaiians for several decades now. Usually I come to you and talk about my particular work on the Appropriations Committee in terms of funding those federal programs. And all of that is still good news. We have managed, again, to strengthen and even expand these laws and to expand that funding and to take care of Native Hawaiians throughout our country in various ways, whether it be education or business or veterans or housing in many different ways. And so I leave that all with you with an offer of continued partnership. But I also want to take the opportunity, since this is your first convention on the continent, to provide some broader comments that I think are relevant to the fact that this convention is on the continent. The last census showed that we had roughly 1.6 citizens of our country who are Native Hawaiian or part Native Hawaiian, of which 400,000 were in Hawaii and 1.2 million were somewhere else in our country. And I think we can take that with a real sense of sadness, as I do, that so many Native Hawaiians, like all of us who call Hawaii home, have been forced or have chosen, for whatever reason, not to reside in our homeland. That is something that we need to work on for our Hawaii. But I think what I want to do today is talk about this as an incredible opportunity, because that means that 1.2 million people elsewhere in our country also carry the commitment to Native Hawaiians with them every day. And I think that that is an opportunity that we have not fully realized. Here in Congress, really the responsibility for our federal programs and our laws and our funding on behalf of Native Hawaiians has fallen to our Hawaii congressional delegations, as it should. That's a responsibility that we all bear. But we need partners. We need partners throughout Congress to do that with. And we have had great partners in both Congress, people from throughout the decades, as well as presidents, in doing just that. Now we need to broaden that perspective, broaden that net into members of Congress who are personally committed, not just because they believe in caring for the indigenous peoples of our country generally and for Native Hawaiians in particular, but because they have constituencies inside their own districts, inside their own states that they are personally responsive to, that stay in touch with them, that articulate a vision, a commitment, a set of goals that are collective, not only on behalf of Native Hawaiians, but for the indigenous peoples of our country. If you take a look at those census records again, it is surprising, perhaps, that 28 states now have 10,000 or more Native Hawaiians living in those states. Of course, we have the very large states like California, with almost as many Native Hawaiians now as are in Hawaii, and Washington State, which is number 3. But you have some other states that perhaps are surprising, such as Texas, and these are spread throughout the country. And that means that those are our natural partners. We need your help to develop these partnerships. Your convention brings together Native Hawaiians from throughout our entire country, and the homeland of Native Hawaiians is always going to be Hawaii. The strength that we draw in terms of the causes and the programs and the efforts are always going to originate from Hawaii, but we need to broaden through your collective networks throughout our country, our partners here in Congress. And so as you meet here today, I want to pay special attention to the networking efforts that have been underway for decades and that now need to be strengthened with a natural pool of strength back in your own districts. So please go back into your states, into your districts, and contact your member of Congress and ask for their commitment to Native Hawaiians, not just as a matter of national policy, but also as a matter of personal commitment to their own constituencies. You can depend on me for a continuing partnership along these lines. I am happy to provide you with any advice or counsel on specific members of Congress or on approaches here, but this is going to be necessary for us to carry forward Native Hawaiian programs, Native Hawaiian efforts, and commitment to Native Hawaiians in our federal government for another number of generations. I look forward to partnering with you on all of these efforts, and I wish you a very, very successful convention. Mahalo.